Aloha. Today we're doing BAC, which is one of the formulas in the topic called algebra in Year 11 Standard Maths. BAC, there are two formulas. There's BAC for male, which is BAC equals 10n minus 7.5h divided by 6.8m, and there's BAC for female, which is BAC equals 10n minus 7.5h divided by 5.5m. Now, with all formulas, the number of variables in the equation is at least the number of questions that could ask you. So in this case, question 1, it's going to ask for BAC. Keith had 6 standard drinks in 3 hours and weighed 70 kilograms. What is his BAC? BAC stands for blood alcohol content, and in New South Wales, the limit is 0.05, but they just want to ask for the BAC. So Keith is a guy, so you have to use the male formula. So you quote the formula, which is there, then you write down what you have got on the side. So he's got 6 standard drinks, so n is the number of standard drinks he could have, so n equals 6. And in 3 hours, that's your H, number of hours spent drinking. The number of drinks is N, so H equals 3. And his weight, which is, M stands for mass, but every normal human being calls it weight. Non-scientist is going to call it newtons, but let's not confuse the issue. The weight here is in kilograms, by the way. So his weight is 70 kilograms. Then you substitute those numbers into the equation. So then there's 10 times 6 minus 7.5 times 3 divided by 6.8 times 70. And then you get a calculator and you put those numbers in. And I'll show you a way to put it in the calculator as well. So this time you just do myself a nice calculator. Here, so you go 10 times 6 minus 7.5 times 3. You go equals first, and then you divide by bracket 6.8 times 70. You don't have to close the bracket even. And the answer you get there is 0.07878. So you write that down, so 0.78781512161. That's its BAC, and if they ask you to round it off to, let's say, 3 decimal place, then it'd be 0.788 to 3dp. So that's question 1. Question 2, again on BAC, but this time you have Isabella had 5 standard drinks in a couple of hours and weighed 60 kilograms. Is she able to legally drive now? If not, how much longer will she have to wait? Well, Isabella is a girl. The number of standard drinks is 5, so that's n equals 5. couple of hours means that H equals 2. She weighed 60 kilograms, so that's M equals 60. So first you have to quote the right formula, so it's the female formula, which is 10n minus 7.5h divided by 5.5m. They will not expect you to remember this formula. They will give you this formula in the exam. They don't expect you to remember this. Now, in New South Wales, Australia, the legal limit is that it has to be 0.05. So the BAC, male or female, has to be less than 0.05. That's the limit. So then you go 10 times 5 minus 7.5 times 2 divided by 5.5 times 60, and you put that in the calculator. Again, you go 10 times 5 minus 7.5 times 2, put equals first, and then divided by, bracket, 5.5 times 60, and then that's equal. So you get 0.10606 repeater. So that's her BAC, and no, since that's greater than 0.05, therefore she cannot drive right now because it's over the limit. So second question says, how much longer will she have to wait? Well, you quote the formula again, which is BAC female equals 10n minus 7.5h divided by 5.5m. That has to be less than 0.05. So now you are solving for h, actually. So this question is the hardest question of all the questions. And n is still 5. So that's 10 times 5 minus 7.5h. You know what h is? Because 5 over 5.5 times 60 is less than 0.05. So then it's just an equation. 10 times 5 is 50 minus 7.5h divided by 330 is 5.5 times 60 is 330, 0.05. And then you multiply both sides by 330 because that's the inverse operation, and you get 50 minus 7.5h is less than 16.5, I'm pretty sure. 330 times 0.05 is 16.5. And then what you can do is a nice trick. You can interchange these two, because if you have A minus C equals D, you can interchange the C and D. So that means A minus D equals C. So you can do 50 minus 16.5 is equal to 7.5h. It's actually less than. And then 50 minus 16.5 gets you 33.5 is less than 7.5h. And then you divide both sides by 7.5. 7.5. So divided by 7.5, you get 4.46 repeater. So that's 4.46 repeater is less than h, which means that your h is going to be greater than. Now, use a calculator, change 4 hours, 0.46 repeated minutes, hours, right? 4.46 hours into hours and minutes. You press this button here. This one here, the degrees, minute, will change it into hours and minutes. This one right here, yeah, this one. So you press that, and the calculator says 4 hours and 28 minutes. So it has to be greater than 4 hours and 28 minutes. Now, since that she had spent a couple of hours drinking, that means that she would need to wait 2 hours. Therefore, you have to wait 2 hours and 28 minutes longer to be able to drive. So that's the second question. Let me take my watch off. It's making a weird noise for the table. So the third question is going to ask you about N, the number of drinks. So Tony weighs 75 kilograms and wants to spend 5 hours drinking with his friends. How many drinks can he have if he's able to drive home after 5 hours? This is also a hard question to do. So here's a question here. So M is 75 kilograms. 5 hours drinking, that's H equals 5. The number of drinks is N, that's what you're looking for, you don't know. And the legal limit is, of course, 0.05. So again, you quote the formula. What is the formula? So it's BACM equals 10N minus 7.5H divided by 6.8M, because it's male, Tony is male, and that has to be less than 0.05. So then you go 10 times N, you know what N is, minus 7.5 times 5 divided by 6.8 times 75 is less than 0.05. So 10 times 5 is 10 times N is 10N. 7.5 times 5 is 37.5. 6.8 times 75 is 510. It's less than 0.05. Then you multiply both sides by 510 to do the next step. So you get 10N minus 37.5 is less than times 0.05 is 25.5. So then you add 37.5 to both sides and you get 63. So 10N is less than 63. You divide both sides by 10. You divide both sides by 10. N is less than 6.3. So how do you answer it? How many drinks can you have? Well, the answer is, therefore, Tony can have a maximum of 6.3 standard drinks. Should have the word standard here as well. That means you can't have more than 6.3. It has to be less than 6.3. That's, you say, maximum of 6.3. So that's the third question. The fourth question is on H. So it's 8 p.m. right now, and Isabella is at a bar drinking with her friends. If she weighs 60 kilograms and plans to have 5 drinks, then at what time will she be able to legally drive home? So the 60 kilograms is the M. The 5 drinks is N, and the time is got to do with H, number of hours, you don't know. So, but first you quote the formula, BAC female equals 10N minus 7.5 H divided by 5.5 M, and that has to be less than 0.05. So it's 10 times 5 minus 7.5 H divided by 5.5 times 60 is less than 0.05. So 5 times 10 is 50 minus 7.5 H divided by 330 is less than 0.05. You multiply both sides by 330, just next step, and you go 50 minus 7.5 H is less than 16.5. You interchange these two. So you have 50 minus 16.5 is less than 7.5 H. So you have 33.5 is less than 7.5 H. You divide by both sides by 7.5. So using the calculator, 33.5 divided by 7.5, you get 4.46 again. So 4.46 repeater is there. That means that H is greater than 4.46 repeater hours, which is 4 hours and 28 minutes that we've done earlier, using the degree minute button, which I'll show you again. That's this button right here underneath the square root sign. Press that button and you get 4 hours and 28 minutes. So if it's 8 p.m. right now, that's what the question says, then you add 4 hours and 20 minutes to that. That means it's going to be 12:28 a.m. Chicken Drive. In other words, 28 minutes past midnight. So that's that one. And the last question is to do with the mass, which normal people call, of course, weight. So when we talk about the mass, it's actually the weight. I mean, it's actually the mass in scientific terms. So again, what is the minimum weight of a female who had 6 drinks in 3 hours and still be able to drive legally? So here, 6 drinks, N equals 6. 3 hours, that's H. And so female, you have to quote the female formula. So that's BAC, female equals 10N minus 7.5H divided by 5.5M. That has to be less than 0.05. So you go 10 times 6 minus 7.5 times 3 divided by 5.5m is less than 0.05. 60 minus 7.5 times 3, 7.5 times 3 is 22.5 divided by 5.5m is less than 0.05. So 60 minus 22.5 is 37.5 divided by 5.5m is less than 0.05. Then you can also interchange these two. So if you have A on C equals D, nice trick is you can interchange the C and the D. So A over D is equal to C. And it works for inequality as well. So A over C is less than D. That means A over D is less than C. So you go 37.5 divided by 0.05 is less than 5.5m. So 37.5 divided by 0.05 is 750. So 750 is less than 5.5m. Then you divide both sides by 5.5. So divide by 5.5. And you get 136.36 repeater. So 136.36 repeater. So therefore, the minimum weight is actually 136.36 repeater kilogram for them to be on the limit of 0.05. That's all the questions there are on BAC. Over and out.